Hey, Delta Chi Nation, welcome back. We're here with Rod Arnold, the chairman of the Delta Chi Educational Foundation. Of course, my name is Peter Lane, and I'm the director of development. And we're excited to bring you this exclusive live interview here on Founders Day of Giving. We're at the headquarters office in Indianapolis. Rod is at his home office in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're going to give Rod an opportunity here to share a Founders Day message and the state of the foundation. Before we do that, I'm going to give you guys a quick update on how we're doing on the Founders Day of Giving. We are currently sitting at $97,977, 230 gifts. So it's going well. If you're hearing this message for the first time, or you just haven't made your gift yet, and you're waiting for that opportunity, this is a great opportunity. We're asking for $100 or more from every alumnus and $10 or more from every student. Ideally, we would like to get 10 alumni and 10 students per chapter. We have matching gifts, so your impact is a dollar for dollar match until 7:30 p.m. this evening. If you would like to make a gift via check or a donor advised fund or a stock transfer or securities exchange, you can do that. But just send us an email and let us know that you're doing that so that we can recognize you today as part of the campaign. That being said, I'm really excited to have Rod on here. Rod is a Texas A&M founding father, a 1988 graduate, and a new founder for Delta Chi, meaning he's given over $100,000 lifetime to the organization and continues his generosity today. Father of three, married for a long time, wonderful wife, Chevy Zazeta. And so we're glad to have you here, Rod. Thank you for taking some time with us. Tell us how things are going with the foundation and give us a kind of a state of the union, if you will.
Well, welcome to everybody to Happy Founders Day to everybody. I believe it's 132 years. Is that right, Peter?
Correct.
So imagine a small group of friends getting together on an academic campus 132 years ago, deciding that they want to form a secret society where they could spend their days, talking about the issues of the day. School was not what it is now. You used to go to listen to professors, and they would basically talk at you, and there wasn't a lot of discourse back and forth and challenging of ideas. And it's widely considered that is the reason for the beginning of a number of the secret societies, besides the fun part and the sneaking around part. But they really took a big risk in doing that. The one thing that we do know from the last of the founders, they would chuckle and just say, we had no idea that this would grow into what it was. Certainly had no idea of the legacy that it would leave in regard to brotherhood, in regard to continuing education and leadership opportunities, and philanthropy and the social are things that have been added to the Greek system over time. But it's never been more important on college campuses. Going through the process, Peters, you and I have talked about, the oldest of my three boys is taking his college tours now. So we're getting to see with fresh eyes, not only mine to campuses where maybe I haven't spent a lot of time, but also from the eye prospect, what the Greek system looks like, what it represents, and what it holds for young college men coming into their own as they leave home and go off on their college academic endeavors. It certainly plays an important part. The foundation plays a wonderfully important part, not just our organization, but for a lot of organizations. The foundation is there as a tax-deductible tool for people to give to their brotherhood. So they can give to the foundation, through the foundation, for the benefit of the brotherhood. And there's a handful of areas that obviously we trumpet a lot, and most people know us for when they think of a foundation. The number one thing I think is scholarship and assistance to the undergraduate brothers, either merit-based or need-based. Merit-based being congratulations, you've done a great job, you're doing really well on campus, you're a leader on campus, so therefore you qualify for certain scholarship accounts that have been set up to reward brothers who are doing exemplary things on their campus. The other type of scholarship, anyone who's going through the application process in college, is needs-based financial aid, and we have scholarships that have been set up in different areas for different chapters or different regions that would be needs-based financial scholarships, and those are extremely important. Other areas where we really help a lot that our focus is on is leadership training, getting something additional out of the fraternity while you are in your undergraduate years, in addition to the fun part, the social part. There's three primary reasons that people join social organizations, not just fraternities. One of them is having a sense of belonging. The proverbial for college students, it's the small fish in a new big pond coming out of high school. That's the number one reason people join any type of social organization. Another one is the prestige of joining an organization, be it a sports team or anything else. There should be prestige in joining a fraternity, trying to become a better version of yourself. The third one, and we wish it would be the first, but it typically to our prospects it comes at number three. But it's the personal development, and it's extremely important, and we play a masterful part of that. The fraternity does in providing that leadership opportunity. The good leadership take money. So the foundation is here to help with that in grants toward leadership training. So that's a big part of what we do as well. So you've got scholarship and you've got leadership training. Chapters have educational chapter housing initiative account, savings account to use towards housing initiatives. Chapter scholarship accounts where they're setting up scholarship accounts for their chapter. So there's a myriad of ways to support the brotherhood through a tax-deductible gift into the foundation, and that's been our focus. We've seen tremendous growth. We have seen a lot of initiatives over the last handful of years really start to flower and take shape. We are growing our donor base specifically via alumni engagement. We have a number of grand old chapters that maybe right now, my own included, that's currently inactive. Doesn't mean that they'll always be inactive. But there's always a place for brothers in Delta Chi. It's the brotherhood of a lifetime. So you can get engaged in foundation events, keep up to date on what's going on with the fraternity, and find ways to help your chapter, local chapters work on a regional level. There's always fun, engaging ways to engage in the brotherhood.
That's fantastic, and you're so right, and you've been leading a lot of that. I remember meeting with you years ago, and you said we need to make sure we're flying the fun flag. F stands for fun and fraternity, and you've done a great job of creating that culture with the educational foundation and creating kind of that international chapter of brothers that come together. And we see that at the conventions as well. But now the foundation events have really become that with the winter board meetings, the annual meetings, and then our trustee society experiences. So thank you for that. Rod, tell us a little bit about.
I would say a little bit just on that because you know me, I'll forget it. I've been drinking a lot of coffee this morning. For brothers who are out, who are not, in the older we get, geography plays a part in it. If you are an initiated brother at a chapter who is either the chapter is currently inactive or you've grown up and moved away. This happens a lot too. You move far away from your hometown and from your alma mater. The wonderful thing about it that I've learned, the rational self-interest to the initiative is the fact that I live far away now and have for quite some time from my alma mater, and the fact that my chapter is currently inactive. The fact that my chapter is now nationwide, it's international. I have brothers that I engage with daily, weekly, and certainly weekly and daily as well, that are from all different chapters. So your concept of fraternity grows outside of what your local original definition of fraternity is. And it's just absolutely wonderful. It's a catchphrase, the brotherhood of a lifetime. We've been working really hard to demonstrate that better, what that really means. And that's been the most fun part of the fact that now I have fraternity brothers all over the country that came from different schools. And, some of those rivalries, fade and soften over time. The fun part is what we share is the tie of the brotherhood.
Rod, you've been involved on the Educational Foundation Board of Directors for over a decade. I think this is your fourth year now heading into being the chairman. What are some things that you've seen growth-wise for our organization and stuff that you're really excited about over, say, the next 2 to 4 years?
Well, I think the number one thing is I always give thanks to the fraternity brothers who are engaged in leadership positions, be it in the fraternity, be it in the foundation, or be it in Barrister Capital, who is working on chapter housing initiatives for us. The level of acumen that we have attained over the last number of years has been tremendous. And I think we've done a very good job of matching talent to the positions, as opposed to people being cajoled into running for office because we need someone to do that. I think we've done a very effective job enterprise wide of finding the brothers that really have the professional acumen. We've always done a good job of legal advisors because we are, traditionally and historically a legal fraternity. So we've never had a problem engaging our barrister, our actual barrister brothers to serve as legal advisors. But we've got people in all different industries, brothers that we no longer need to look at them as our undergraduate brothers. They're now seasoned professionals in banking, in architecture, in construction, that can help us and are helping us and doing a much more effective job in all different areas that the enterprise needs. I think that's been the number one thing, and it was what's really made it professionally fun. Is we've got experts that are now helping the brotherhood, and it is vaulting us forward. We are truly taking leaps and bounds forward in our standing in the Greek community, but also just on our own. It's going to help our enterprise long term, not only be viable but be very strong.
Excellent. Well, that's wonderful. So one of the last questions that I have for you is just to make it relatable to anybody listening here. Tell us a little bit about your college experience. Why did you decide to join Delta Chi? Who was the guy or guys that convinced you this was something you wanted to do? And just paint that picture for us a little bit.
I'll keep it short. I always thought that I wanted to be in a fraternity because I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So I didn't have any big brothers. So as a lot of only children or oldest might attest, as time goes on, your frame of reference comes from looking in the mirror. And I was at least smart enough to know that I wasn't necessarily the smartest person in the room, and I wanted that camaraderie and maybe someone else to club me over the head. I'm actually lucky that some of my chapter brothers didn't club me over the head more than they did. I probably deserved it. I think a number of them would laugh and say I was rather impetuous at the time, thought I knew everything. The great thing about it, what I really got out of the fraternity, certainly the social is there, but I was blessed to be in the right place, the right time, and to help start the group. When you're starting a chapter, it's a lot of work. It doesn't feel like work necessarily at the time. It feels like a lot of to-dos and tasks, but it really is a lot of work. And we ended up growing a chapter from 20 people to 120 people in the realm of about 6 years. I think it was 5 or 6 years. A year or so after I graduated is when they really hit their stride. And we watched from being, I got to see the metamorphosis from being a really small player on the campus, on what was not a big Greek campus, to being the Lions on campus. And we still have some old trophies around that the IFC ended up retiring and giving to us because we were winning, and we were winning every year and beating a lot of big chapters, and we became one of the big chapters. Also, over time, unfortunately, got to see the process of, when a franchise gets really comfortable with being on top and they coast. And as my father had a Texas colloquialism a long time ago, if you're riding on a bike and you're not pedaling, you're going downhill fast. And I got to watch that and learn from it. So now what I'm doing professionally is helping chapters with All Pro Rush to grow and to make our franchises stronger. So it's really funny, the education that you get, the things you get out of fraternity. You never know how they're going to affect your life later, but it's all been positive. And I think that's the biggest thing that I get out of it is the fun part of giving back and helping our chapters get stronger. And I still feel like I think all of us feel like you could just move right back into the house and flow right into that, because I think a lot of positive memories for most people come out of their fraternity years.
Definitely. Well, and you've taken this wonderful experience, and you had a really successful career in the executive search industry, but there was always volunteering and giving back some time and talent. And as you have said, giving those smaller gifts and those, led up to a large impact. And All Pro Rush is such a cool program, and you've taken the extra steps to make sure that it's 100% educational. And so chapters can now leverage chapter scholarship money through the Educational Foundation to get recruitment help and rush help to increase their chapters. And that's an amazing testament to you. That's where you want to spend your time and energy. So Thank you so much for all that you do and the leadership that you provide to the Delta Educational Foundation. In closing, is there anything else that you would like to add before we wrap it up today?
Absolutely. To our recent graduate brothers, this is where you get involved and stay involved with the brotherhood. Start donating a little bit, and I joke whenever I'm giving personal talks. You will rapidly reach a point where you don't fill out the easy form, tax form anymore, and your CPA, and even if it's a local franchise CPA, I always recommend to the young guys, get a CPA, get somebody looking at your taxes and advising you. They're going to start asking you for deductions. There will reach a point very rapidly in your career where it actually does better, or the same effect for you to give some money away as opposed to pay taxes on all of it. So this is where you get involved, and the tax deductibility is important. We have a foundation. A lot of organizations have foundations, and that's the role that we play, is allowing people to give to their causes in a tax deductible fashion. So when you're donating to the Delta Chi Educational Foundation to support the structure and the programs within the fraternity, it is 100% tax deductible. So take advantage of it, and you get the credit for it, and you get to stay involved in it and watch the organization grow. And we appreciate every gift, no matter the size.
Absolutely. And especially today, all of the gifts are matched dollar for dollar. So it's double the impact. We've got, it's 11:55 a.m. Eastern time. The campaign finishes tonight at 7:30 p.m. So we've just got about 7.5 hours here to take advantage of those matching gifts. So thank you all that have given so far. Like I said, we've got over 230 donations. We're now up to 98,684. So we're growing. So thank you very much. Rod, thank you for taking some time, and we'll see you this afternoon when we do the Big Three interview with you, the AA, and the barrister president.
Sounds wonderful. Hey, everybody, make sure and make that donation right now. We're coming up on lunchtime in the Eastern time zone. Don't do what I do, which is procrastinate to the very end of the day. Hey, Jason, make sure and keep Jason and Peter busy here and knock it out right now during lunch. I'm classic at waiting till the very last minute. Don't do what I do. Go ahead and donate now and get it counted and get it in.
Well, you have gotten your gift in, Rod, and we really appreciate you leading by example. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Cheers, everybody.